Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a talk given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on April 13th, 2019 in Sridham, Mayapur, India. The talk was about the real essential problems of human life, birth, death, old age, and disease, and how to solve these.
Karoti Vachalam Pangalangayategaram Yatripada Mahanmande Sri Guru Ninatadinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Hare Om Tat Sat. So with the college girls, I can see them. Why can't I see the college boys? Are the boys less than the girls?
I can see the college girls, but I cannot see the college boys. Are the college boys less than the college girls?
Why am I not able to see the boys?
Why I am not able to see the boys?
I can't see if they raise their hands.
I cannot see if they have raised their hands.
It's not a video conferencing.
Sorry?
If I can't see them, it's not a video conference.
We'll try to arrange.
I'm in the dark. I don't hear anybody. I don't see anybody.
Just understand that I may not hear you and not see you.
So I'm just speaking to the outer space.
I'm just speaking to the outer space.
I don't know who arranged this, but that's how it is. Speak something.
Please speak something so that I could hear you all. We cannot hear anyone. If you all can hear us, kindly speak something so that we can hear you.
So, anyway, it's very nice to be addressing some of the youths.
Anyways, it's very nice to address some of the youths.
Even though in the previous time I could see many of the youths at three different places.
In previous time, I was able to see youths at 3 different places.
Somehow it's arranged now, I don't see anybody.
Somehow it's arranged in such a way that I don't see anyone.
Although Zoom can have 100 people at one time.
Because we have more than...
Even Zoom can have 100 screens at a time.
Even Zoom, they have 100 screens at a time.
So I don't know, I heard there are 90 devotees present, so that's not 100 screens.
I heard that around 90 devotees are present.
We're here in Mayapur. Anyway, we're in the Holy Dham.
Anyway, we are in the Holy Dham.
And this Dham means that Krishna is in the spiritual world.
This Dham means that Krishna is in the spiritual world.
But his Dhams are like extensions of the spiritual world.
But his Dhams are extensions of the spiritual world.
And Dhams are like embassies.
Dhams are like embassies.
They are manifested by the spiritual energy of the Lord.
They are manifested by the spiritual energies of the Lord.
Lord Chaitanya had the 2 consorts, Lakshmi Priya, and then she died, and then he married Vishnu Priya.
Lord Chaitanya had 2 consorts, Lakshmi Priya, and when she died, then Vishnu Priya.
So Lakshmi Priya was Sri Devi,
So Lakshmi Priya was Sri Devi,
and Vishnu Priya was Bhudevi.
and Vishnu Priya was Bhudevi.
And Lord Chaitanya is Gaur Narayan.
And Lord Chaitanya is Gaur Narayan.
So his Nila Shakti is extended as the holy Dham.
So his Leela Shakti is expanded as the holy Dham.
And your bases or temples are like consulate generals.
And your bases or temples are like the consulate journals.
They're like small extensions of the spiritual world.
They are like the small extensions of the spiritual world.
So they also have some spiritual quality.
So they also have some spiritual quality.
And you can associate there, you can chant Hare Krishna there, you can study the Shastras.
You can associate there, chant Hare Krishna and study the Shastra.
And the temples are higher because they're installed deities.
The temple are higher where they have installed deities.
The deities are considered as Archa Avatar,
Deities are considered as Archa Avatar,
worshipable incarnations of the Lord.
worshipable incarnations of the Lord.
Since we're not pure enough to see the Lord
Since we are not pure enough to see the Lord
in His spiritual form,
and His spiritual form,
He appears before us in a deity form.
He appears before us in the deity form,
He gives us a chance to serve Him.
so that we get a chance to serve Him.
So in this material world, everybody is busy serving
So in this material world, everyone is busy serving something.
maybe your family,
Serving family,
country,
country,
your boss at work.
the boss at work.
Some people, they have pet dogs
Some people, they have pet dogs
and they serve their dog.
and they serve their dog.
In Toronto, there was a sign in the park.
In Toronto, there was Steiner Park.
It showed a man stooping behind his dog.
It showed a man stooping behind his dog.
And there was a pile of something behind the dog.
And there was a pile of something behind the dog.
And the sign said, stoop and scoop.
And the sign said, stoop and scoop.
So some people serve their dog.
So some people serve the dog.
And they bow down to the dog and scoop up the
And they bow down the dog and scoop up the
excrement.
excrement.
So our nature is to serve.
So our nature is to serve.
But actually, if we serve Krishna,
But actually, if we serve Krishna,
then we get spiritual realization, spiritual advancement.
then we get some spiritual realizations and advancement.
We get purified,
We get purified,
and we don't have to suffer the bad karmas,
and we don't have to suffer the bad karmas,
which are neutralized by the service we do.
which are neutralized by the service we do.
Now, each of us has to find out what our nature is
So each of us has to find out what our nature is,
and to serve Krishna from our natural position.
and to serve Krishna from our natural position.
So in the 8th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam,
So in the 8th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam,
that has the pastime of Gajendra Moksha.
they have the pastime of Gajendra Moksha.
Gajendra was the king of the elephants,
Gajendra was the king of the elephants,
and he went into the river.
and he was into the river.
He was enjoying with his female elephants,
He was enjoying with his female elephants.
and then suddenly the king of the crocodiles grabbed his leg,
And suddenly the king of the crocodile grabbed his leg,
and he was held tight by the crocodile.
and he was held tight by the
He
crocodile.
tried to leave the river, but he couldn't leave.
He tried
To leave,
he tried to leave, but he couldn't leave.
the crocodile kept him bound in the river.
The crocodile kept him in the bottom of the river.
So they were struggling for a long time.
So they were struggling for a long time.
And because the elephant is the animal of the land,
And because the elephant is the animal of the land,
and the crocodile is the animal of the water.
and the crocodiles are the animals of the water,
So the crocodile being in the water, he was in his element.
so the crocodile being in the water, he was in his element,
And the elephant was in the water, so he was out of his element.
and the elephant was in the water, so he was out of his element.
So gradually the elephant realized he was losing the battle.
So gradually the elephant realized that he was losing the battle,
And he picked up a lotus with his trunk and offered it to Krishna. And from his previous life, he remembered a prayer.
and he picked up a lotus from his trunk and offered to Krishna and remembered his previous life.
So he remembered a prayer
So he remembered a prayer
that he had learned in his previous life.
that he learnt in his previous life.
So he offered that to Vishnu.
So he offered that to Vishnu,
And Vishnu came on the Garuda
and Vishnu came on Garuda
and liberated the elephant and the crocodile.
and liberated the elephant and the crocodile.
Now the elephant was previously a human who was cursed, and so was the crocodile, was a Gandharva that was cursed.
And the elephant was a human who was cursed, and so was the crocodile who was a Gandharva,
He was cursed.
and he was also cursed.
Anyway, the point I want to get to was when the elephant was struggling,
Anyway, the point I want to get through was that when the elephant was struggling
in the water,
in the water,
and he was gradually losing the battle,
and he was gradually losing the battle,
and the crocodile, he was in the water,
and the crocodile, when he was in the water,
so somehow he was getting his nourishment.
somehow he was getting his nourishment,
He was in his element.
he was in his element,
So he was gradually winning.
so he was gradually winning.
So both, as human beings, we have to fight with the material nature.
So as human beings, we have to fight with the material nature.
And we want to liberate ourselves
And if we want to liberate ourselves
from this material world of repetition of birth and death.
from this material world's repetition of birth and death,
So one thing is that we should find our position of strength.
so one thing is we should find our position of strength.
Prabhupada said that like this, we should realize in the long run whether we are, what is our nature.
Prabhupada said that we should realize that in long run that what is our nature.
Some of us may be good for renounced order,
Some of us may be good for renounced order,
and some may be stronger as a grihastha.
and some may be stronger as a grihastha.
And this thing we have to figure out,
This thing we have to figure out,
and that because if you're in the wrong position,
because if you are in the wrong position,
then later on you have some troubles.
then later on you have some troubles.
Yeah, you have to kind of quote or read it. But saying that there are advantages to being a brahmachari,
Seeing the advantages of being a brahmachari,
at least for some time,
at least for some time,
one should have that training.
one should have that training.
And but generally, as a brahmachari, you can engage all your thoughts, words, and activities
The brahmachari can engage all the words, mind, and activities
in the devotional service.
in the devotional service.
Being a brahmachari is called a brihat vrata.
Being a brahmachari is called a brihad vrita
because most people they don't practice brahmacharya.
because most of the people they don't practice brahmacharya.
But actually, a brahmachari, he can advance very quickly
But actually, a brahmachari he can advance very quickly
if that's his nature.
if that's his nature.
He can use all his activities in the service of Krishna.
He can use all his activities in the service of Krishna.
Now, as a grihastha, you have to work outside.
As a grihastha, you have to work outside.
You have to somehow accommodate with your wife.
You have to somehow accommodate with your wife.
Prabhupada once said that, what's the difference between knowledge and realized knowledge?
Prabhupada once said, what is the difference between knowledge and self-realized knowledge?
So we hear that married life is complicated.
We hear that married life is complicated.
That's knowledge.
That's knowledge.
When you get married,
But when you get married,
it's realized knowledge.
that's realized knowledge.
So that, that's part of the, one should not think that married life is all easy.
One should not think that married life is all easy.
It's also an austerity.
It's also an austerity.
So we want that people should learn what it's like to be fixed up in their brahmachari life, at least for some time.
We want that the people should learn to be fixed up in their brahmachari life at least for some time.
And then they can if they feel the need, they can become adhikaris.
And if they feel the need, they can become adhikaris,
Then they should also preach.
but they should also preach.
I had someone just they succumbed to their parents and then married somebody that was recommended by the parents.
We had someone who succumbed to marriage,
To his parents,
to his parents,
to marry a girl.
to marry some girl.
Now she was not a vegetarian at first.
Now she was not vegetarian at first.
She promised the boy, my disciple,
She promised to the boy, my disciple,
that she would be a vegetarian.
that she would be a vegetarian.
So he thought, okay, I'll marry her.
So he thought that, okay, I'll marry her.
And then they had a child.
And then they had a child.
And then she started eating non-veg.
Then she started eating non-veg.
She said, you promised you would not take non-veg.
He said, you promised me you won't take non-veg.
I promised.
She said, I promised.
I tried for 1 year.
I tried for 1 year,
But you knew my background.
but you knew my background.
So what can I do?
So what can I do?
I like flesh.
I like flesh.
I like to eat the fish.
I like to eat the fish.
I like the taste of the blood.
I like the taste of the blood.
And then he came to me, Gurudev, what do I do?
Then he came to me, Gurudev, what do I do?
I have a baby, I'm attached,
I have a baby, I am attached,
but now she's eating non-veg.
but now she's eating non-veg.
She had promised, but now this is what happens.
She has promised, but now this is what it happens.
You didn't ask me before you married her.
You didn't ask me before you was marrying her.
Now you're coming to me.
Now you're coming to me.
So anyway, these things happen.
So these things happen.
That's why if a person decides that they want to marry, we recommend marry a devotee.
So that's why if a person wants to marry, we recommend a devotee.
Not just, marry anyone.
Not just
Anyone.
anyone.
Because the parents or two parents, two fathers met each other. Oh, they were colleagues.
Two fathers met each other and they were colleagues.
I said, oh, I have a son, I have a daughter. Oh, I'm a vegetarian, you're a vegetarian.
So one said, oh, I am a vegetarian, you are vegetarian, I have a son, you have a daughter, and let's get them married.
So then the boy called me up. What do I do now?
Then the boy called me up and said, "What do I do now?"
She's not a devotee.
She's not a devotee,
But they say she's a vegetarian.
but they said that she's vegetarian.
Just tell her that you don't take onions and garlic,
Just tell her that you don't take onions and garlic,
and that you don't allow that to come into the house.
and you don't allow that to come into the house.
He did that.
He did that.
She never came back.
She never came back.
Modern day vegetarians are usually onion eaters.
Modern day vegetarians are usually onion eaters.
So much time is spent in, I call it a very difficult investment.
So much time is
Invested
invested
if the girl is not a devotee.
if the girl is a non-devotee.
Of course, if one is a brahmachari, they don't deal with this at all.
Of course, if one is a brahmachari, they don't deal with it at all.
They think on morning to night how to spread Krishna consciousness.
They think morning to night how to spread Krishna consciousness,
And how to learn the shastras.
how to learn the shastras.
The same thing is there for the grihastas, but there are also other things that come
The
up.
same thing is there for the grihastas, but there are so many other things.
Anyway, so I was told when I was a new devotee
When I was a new devotee, I was told
by the wife of the temple president
by the wife of the temple
that
president
if I was not married, I could not go back to Godhead.
that if I was not married, I could not go back to Godhead.
I got very frightened.
I was very frightened.
So I went to Prabhupada
So I went to Prabhupada.
and I asked him, is this true?
I asked him, "Is it true?"
He said, not like that.
He said, "It's not like that.
But you wait till you're 25
You wait till you are 25,
and then I'll decide for you
then I'll decide for you
whether you should be a sannyasi or get married."
whether you would be a sannyasi or get married."
So I was 19 at the time.
So I was 19 at that time.
So I told the wife of the president,
So I told the wife of the president,
I got a reprieve till I'm 25.
I have
a reprieve.
I have a reprieve until I am 25.
Sorry.
So it's all right.
So, of course, when I was 21
Of course, when I was 21
in 1970,
in 1970,
Prabhupada asked me if I'd like to be a sannyasi.
Prabhupada asked me if I would like to be a sannyasi.
Now it's much more difficult to be a young sannyasi.
Now it's much more difficult to be a young sannyasi.
But now my 49th year of sannyas.
Now it's my 49th year of sannyas.
Next year will be 50 years. So
Next year would be 50 years of my sannyas.
So I'm very fortunate to be here in India,
I'm very fortunate being here in India,
being in the Holy Dham.
being in the Holy Dham.
I have so many things to think about.
I have so many things to think about,
How to spread Krishna consciousness.
how to expand Krishna consciousness,
How to improve the standard of the temples.
how to improve the standards of the temples,
How to help the devotees.
how to help the devotees,
Help the people in general.
help the people in general.
I don't have much time for other things.
I don't have much time for other things.
So, in the Kali Yuga, sannyas is forbidden.
So in Kali Yuga, sannyas is forbidden.
So Prabhupada explained that this is the karma sannyas where one gives up all activities and goes into some jungle.
Prabhupada said that it is karma sannyas where one gives up all the activities and go to a jungle.
Whether one is a brahmachari or a high level of vanaprastha or sannyas,
Whether one is a brahmachari or high level vanprastha or sannyasi,
that means you stay in an ashram
that means to stay in an ashram,
to regularly serve in the ashram,
to regularly serve in the ashram,
to attend the temple programs,
to attend the temple programs,
to learn the sadhana bhakti,
to learn the sadhana bhakti,
and to help the grihastas, to help the other devotees,
and to help the grihasthas, to help the other devotees,
so that they can practice and preach Krishna
so
consciousness.
that they can practice and preach Krishna consciousness.
Some of our grihastas are, frankly speaking, very good at preaching.
Some of our grihasthas, frankly speaking, are very good at preaching.
And some, they're not so active.
Some, they are not so active.
Similarly, some of the brahmacharis are very active at preaching.
Similarly, some of the brahmacharis are very active in preaching.
Some, generally they are, but some are not so active.
Generally they are, but some, they are not so active.
So, it all depends actually on our initiative.
So it all depends on our initiative.
We should take up the process very enthusiastically.
We should take up this process very enthusiastically.
You see, Prabhupada, he sent me a news article
Prabhupada sent me a news article
when he arrived in Melbourne,
when he arrived in Melbourne,
and there the newspaper journalists,
there the newspaper journalist,
they asked Prabhupada
they asked Prabhupada
that you are from a poor country, India.
that you are from a poor country, India.
We are the rich country, Australia.
We are a rich country, Australia.
What have you come here to take from us?
What have you come here to take from us?
And Srila Prabhupada replied, I have not come to take anything from you.
Srila Prabhupada replied, I have not come to take here anything from you.
I have come to save you
I have come to save
from
you
a cat's and dog's life.
from the cat's and dog's life.
So, you saying we live a cat's and dog's life?
You are saying that we live cats and dogs' life?
Well, what do cats and dogs do?
Well, what does cats and dogs do?
They eat
They eat
anything, garbage can,
anything from the garbage can,
or from the
street.
street, or from they eat.
They eat anything from the street, from the garbage can, anything.
You eat but you go to some hotel, restaurant.
You also
It is
eat.
the same.
You also eat, but you eat in a hotel, restaurant, but you also eat.
And cats and dogs, they sleep.
Cats and dogs, they sleep.
When they sleep, I mean the sand and the beach or under the stairway.
They sleep under the stairways, beach or sand, anywhere.
And you may sleep in your bed.
And you may sleep in the bed.
But sleeping, once you're asleep, it's the same thing.
But sleeping is the same thing.
Cats and dogs, what they do, they mate.
Cats and dogs, what they do, they mate.
They have sex in the street or the beach, anywhere.
But they have sex in the street or beach or anywhere.
And you may have in your house or hotel.
And you may have in the house or the hotel.
But sex is the same.
But sex is the same.
And then the fence.
Then the defense.
The animals may use their claws, their teeth.
The animals may use their claws, their teeth.
You may use machine guns and
You may use
rockets.
machine guns,
rockets.
rockets.
But the fence is the same.
But the defense is same.
So you're just sophisticated animals.
So you are just sophisticated animals.
Are you?
Are you?
I'm thinking that there's something more to life than this.
I am teaching something more to life than this.
That we should understand who we are.
That we should understand who we
We
are.
should understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
We should understand the Supreme
We
Personality
should
of God.
understand what is the purpose of
We
life.
should understand the purpose of life.
And that we should get out of this cycle of birth and death.
That we should get out of the cycle of birth and death.
So then they put in the Age a newspaper on the front page.
They put in the front of the newspaper,
Swamiji has come to save us from cat and dog life.
that Swamiji, the headlines were, the Swamiji has come to save us from the cats and dogs' life.
Subheading,
Subheading,
he has come to hound us.
he has come to hound us.
That's the humor of the Australians.
That's the humor of the Australians.
So Maya was always there.
So Maya was always there.
But now anything that distracts us from the real purpose of our life,
But now anything which distracts us from the real purpose of life,
that is Maya.
that is Maya.
So sometimes it's the social media, sometimes it's the gadgets,
Sometimes it's the social media, sometimes it's the gadgets,
something that's all distracting us from the real purpose of our life.
something that is distracting us from the real purpose of life.
And this way we squander away our valuable human life.
In this way, it squanders away our rarely human life.
So we need to focus on what is the real essential problems of life.
So we need to focus on what are the real essential problems of human life:
Birth, death, old age, disease,
birth, old age, death, and disease,
and how to solve these.
and how to solve this.
So I don't know even how many are still online.
I don't know how many are still online.
Oh, you didn't tell. I thought you might know. You're asleep right now.
I thought you all went to sleep, but I see here there are 126 viewers online.
So I'll give some time for questions, please.
So I'll give some time for the questions, please. So question by Kalia Krishna Das. Guru Maharaj, while practicing Krishna consciousness, in due course of time, sometimes our old anarthas testing us, and with co-devotees, how can we cross or pass these tests? Kindly explain.
The Avanti Brahman, he said a mantra.
The Avanti Brahman, he said a mantra,
Itansasaya Paratmanishtam Adhyastam Purvatamaya Mahadvya Ahang Tarasami Durantaparam Tamaham Makanagri Nisevaiva.
Avanti Brahman said this shloka.
Basically, it's following in the footsteps of the spiritual authorities in the past.
So basically, it's following the spiritual authorities in the past
To cross over this ocean of birth and death.
to cross over this ocean of birth and death.
I will do it by serving Mukunda's lotus feet.
I'll do it by serving Mukunda's lotus feet.
Mukundagi Nisevaiva. And so, similarly, any anarthas that come up,
Similarly, any anarthas that come up,
we just have to stay fixed in serving the Lord.
we
lotus
just
feet,
have to stay fixed in serving the Lord.
not allow these anarthas or weeds
We cannot allow these anarthas and weeds
to obstruct us.
to obstruct us.
There's a stage in a devotional service called Anartha Nivritti.
There's a stage in devotional service called Anartha Nivritti.
We usually get the help of the spiritual master
We usually get the help of spiritual master
to cross over these anarthas
to cross over these anarthas
and become and reach the stage of nishtha, which is fixed devotion.
and reach the stage of nishtha, which is fixed devotion.
So the stage of bhajana kriya
So the stage of bhajana kriya
is usually the stage at which one takes initiation.
It's usually the stage where one takes initiation
and gets help from the spiritual master.
and gets help from the spiritual
And
master.
the next stage is anartha nivritti,
The next stage is anartha nivritti,
controlling or crossing over all the anarthas.
controlling and crossing over the anarthas.
And just like once you pass the test,
Just like one passes the test,
if you had to take the test again, it would be easier.
just like if you have to take the test again, it would be easier
Because you already passed it once.
because you already passed it once.
So once you control one anartha,
So one should control one's anartha,
then it becomes easy in the future.
then it becomes easy in future.
If that anartha tries to show its head,
If the anartha tries to show its head,
it's already insignificant
it's already insignificant.
and can be easily crossed over.
It will be easily crossed over.
So the first time we may fail at sometimes, but eventually we'll conquer it with the help of the Guru and Shiksha Gurus.
But first time we might fail, but eventually we may win with the help of gurus, Siksha gurus. Next question. When equals pass comments and criticize us and says that he speaks big things, then how to respond? Should we work more on internals or go for preaching without caring for criticism?
If you are talking to your equals,
If you are talking to your equal,
you don't want to present yourself as some big authority.
you don't want to present yourself as some big authority.
You're just saying that I'm telling you what I read in scripture or what I heard from
Say what
some senior devotee.
you say, I'm trying to tell you what I read in scriptures or I heard from the senior devotees.
You take a humble position.
Take humble position.
And then if they pass some negative comment,
If still they pass some negative comments,
so that just means that they're not interested.
then it means that they are not
Interested.
interested.
So they're passing some comment to make an excuse.
So they are passing some comments to make their excuse.
Now, as a friend, if you can penetrate that,
So as a friend, if you can penetrate that,
not take it personally.
not take it personally,
Like Nityananda, he got hit on the head by Madai with a wine bottle.
like Nityananda, he got hit on his head by a wine bottle,
By Madai.
by Madhai.
And he said, just because you caused me to bleed,
He said, just because you caused me to bleed,
does that mean I will not give you love of Godhead?
does it mean that I will not give you love of Godhead?
Or what if someone passes a comment?
So what if some passes a comment?
Does that mean you don't still help them?
Does it mean that we won't help them?
You're looking for some ego,
You're-
bloating.
You're looking for someone who will blow your ego up?
Yes, I'm great.
Yes, I am great.
I'm glad you understood.
I am glad you understood.
Prabhupada said it takes buckets of blood to make one devotee.
Prabhupada said it needs buckets of blood to make a devotee.
What to speak of a few comments.
What to speak of few comments.
If you show yourself as being false ego free
If you are showing yourself as false ego free
and you present yourself humbly,
and you present yourself humbly,
like in the lots, even if the person doesn't accept on immediate time,
even if the person doesn't accept immediately,
he thinks, I hit that guy with a real bad comment,
I hit that guy with a real bad comment,
but it didn't shake him at all.
but it did not shake him at all.
that will, he'll know that you're really sincere.
Although you are really,
He will
he will
understand
understand that you are very sincere.
you really want to help him.
You really want to help him. Next question is from anonymous attendee. Maharaj, why there are no young sannyasis in ISKCON now? Is it possible in this age?
If you're younger than a certain age,
If you are younger than a certain age,
in Islam you have to wait for 5 years.
in ISKCON you have to wait for 5 years.
And you have to prove yourself as having sannyasi quality.
And you have to prove yourself that you have sannyasi's qualities.
Because many people in the West
Because many people in the West
had taken sannyas young,
had taken sannyasi young,
and then they were not able to maintain it.
and then they were not able to maintain.
Because in the West there's a lot of free mixing.
Because in the West there's a lot of free mixing.
And now even in the Indian colleges there's a lot of free mixing.
Now even in Indian colleges there's a lot of free mixing.
So that's why it's particularly difficult
That's why it's particularly difficult.
unless one is able to absorb themselves in devotional service
Unless one is able to absorb himself, and particularly in devotional service,
and avoid this attraction.
and avoid this attraction.
See, it's like itching.
It's like itching.
If you scratch it, it doesn't go away.
It's if you scratch it, it doesn't go away.
Just for a minute it relieves, then it comes back.
Just for a minute it relieves, but then it comes back.
So those who can tolerate the itching,
So those who can tolerate the itching,
they can be a sannyasi.
they can be a sannyasi.
Or those that they can't tolerate it,
Those, if they cannot tolerate,
then so many people are brahmacharis for a long time,
many people are brahmacharis for a long time,
and then some of them become sannyasis.
and then some of them become sannyasis,
Some stay as brahmacharis.
some stay brahmacharis,
Some get married.
some get married. So next question is from Vijay Prabhu.
Oh, Vijay.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Dandvat Pranam.
Thank you.
Can you please tell us how to increase our dedication and surrender to you, and what Srila Prabhupada says on this?
Those who are my disciples or aspiring disciples,
Those who are my disciples or aspiring disciples,
it's good to fix your mind on the Guru
it's good to fix mind on the Guru
and try to please Guru and Krishna.
and try to please Guru and Krishna.
Someone asked me last night,
Someone asked me last night,
what do we do if our false ego is smashed?
so what should we do if our false ego is smashed?
How do we pick ourselves up?
How to pick ourselves up?
How to continue?
How to continue?
Our false ego is smashed.
My false ego is smashed.
I said, first of all, we should not have false ego.
I said, first of all, we should not have false ego.
You know, this previous question, one of your peers passed some bad comment.
The previous question, where it was that some peers, they passed some bad comments.
The thing is, we're not running a popularity contest.
The thing is that we are not running a popularity contest.
We're trying to help people.
We are
We're trying to please Guru and Krishna.
We are trying to help people who are trying to please Guru and Krishna.
So we should be focused on the Guru
So it should be focused on the Guru
and Krishna.
and Krishna.
And then other people say that we just take it as an indication
And the other people's, what the other people say, we just take an indication.
of how our preaching is working,
How
our outreach is working.
how our outreach is working. Next question, Vrindavan Gopal Das.
Vrindavan Gopal Das, what nice name.
Maharaj, You mentioned that preaching depends on one's initiative and one must take process seriously. Could you please tell how I can develop that inspiration when practically the whole world is against ISKCON and devotees are in such minority?
Nice to have a challenge, isn't it?
Nice to have a challenge, isn't it?
I was always thinking when I was young,
I was always thinking when I was young,
when I was in the university,
when I was in the university,
how I'd like a career that was always a challenge.
I would like to have a career which was always a challenge
Which I could do many things.
so that I could do many things.
And at present, I have this, I'm now TOVP, the largest temple in India and in the world.
Now we have TOEP, the largest temple in India of the world.
And I'm the chairman of the planetarium and exhibits.
I am the chairman of the planetarium and the exhibits.
How to defeat the mechanistic science, and or at least how to have the mechanistic scientists and the general public accept the Vedas as good science.
And how the purpose of these exhibits is to show the mechanistic designs, to show people how the Vedas are good science,
And not mythology.
how the Vedas are not mythology.
I'm the co-director in Mayapur.
Co-director of Mayapur.
There are millions of people that come here.
There are millions of people who come here.
So I'm thinking how to preach to them.
So I'm thinking how to preach to them.
Also, I'm the chair of the co-minister of the congregational preaching.
Also, I am the home minister of the congregational preaching.
I'm thinking how the grihastas can be devotees.
I think how the grihastas and the devotees,
How they can preach also.
how they can
Preach.
preach also.
And I'm also I'm a BBT trustee.
Also, I am BBT trustee.
And so how to expand the book distribution.
So how to expand the book distribution?
And Prabhupada asked me
That Prabhupada asked me
to expand the preaching.
to expand the preaching.
The unlimitedly.
Prabhupada told me to expand the preaching unlimitedly.
And then the lifetime chairman of the
He made me
Bhaktivedanta Swami Charity Trust,
He made me the lifetime chairman of the Bhaktivedanta Swami Charity Trust,
which is supposed to develop the holy dham of Navadvip
which is supposed to develop the holy dham of Navadvip
and the Gaurmanda Bhumi
and the Gauramandal Bhumi,
and unite all the Vaishnava descendants of the Saraswat Sampradaya.
and unite all the Vaishnavas of Saraswat Sampradaya.
And so possibly a DVT, Guru, I have so many services.
So I have so many services, BBT, Trustee, Guru.
It's very exciting.
It's very exciting.
So much to do.
So much to do.
I need a lot of help.
I need a lot of help.
Lots of help
Lots of help
to do all these things.
to do all these things.
So that's why I don't think there's any difficulty of things to do.
So I don't think there is any difficulty for the things to do.
There's lots of things to do.
There are a lot of things to do.
And if you just take out even one thing,
Even if we just take up one thing,
even to make one person devotee,
even just to make one person devotee,
take all of our time.
takes all of our time.
So there's a lot of things to do.
So there's a lot of things to do.
And the initiative, if you want, you can get more blessings by Krishna.
If you want, you can get more mercy of Krishna
To do more things.
to do more things.
So I hope that I'm very happy that I heard that you are all very serious young devotees
So I hope that you are all very serious devotees.
I heard that you're all young, dedicated devotees,
I heard that you are all young and dedicated devotees.
that you're very serious about your Krishna consciousness.
You are very serious about your Krishna consciousness.
And I'm very happy to have this opportunity to interact with you.
And I had this opportunity to interact with you.
I hope that next time it'll be set up so I can see you.
So I hope that next time we could have a setup where I can see you
And that we can actually have a face-to-face discussion.
I'll have a face-to-face discussion.
But I hope that you all visit Mayapur sometime
I hope that you all visit Mayapur sometime
and that you take advantage of the local temples
and you take advantage of your local temples
to also read the books of Prabhupada very seriously.
also read the books of Prabhupada very seriously.
In this way,
In this way,
to keep on advancing
to keep on advancing
more and more.
more and more.
And thank you very much. I will
Thank you very much. Hari Bol.
have a class again if you want.
We'll have a class again if you want.
Please tell me if you like it.
Please tell me if you like it.
Jayapataka@gmail.com.
My email is jayapataka@gmail.com.
Thank Murli Sham Das Brahmachari for organizing this.
I would like to thank Murli Shyam Das Brahmachari to organize this.
And I hope that we can have many more meetings.
I hope that we can have many more meetings.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Haribol.
Hari Bol.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.